right, yeah, go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and get our recap started as soon as I get my ambiance music going. Who would like to recap what happened last week?
God, no.
2 weeks ago. You volunteered it.
2 weeks. Oh, someone start it. I'll jump in and finish it. 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we uh, we met the kobolds and we returned Rosalind Turner. You know, this is very funny because Rosalind is not a normal name. You don't see that. Rosslyne. Very unusual name. That's my mother's middle name. And it was her mother's. Very. I've never seen it. I've never seen it anywhere else except in her name. Anyway, sorry, got confused. Got sidetracked. Okay, so we were taking her back, and we were met by the kobolds, and I can't remember all the details of that conversation, but Captain Charles shows up, and he's not happy with us, and he runs us in, he locks us up, puts us in a in the what do you call it? A scow, luau,
Holding cell.
Yeah, holding cell. Just more a colloquial name for it. Bothering me. Okay, so we're there and we're trying to decide whether we should try and break out or if we should just stay. They took all our weapons from us and they left the room with our weapons. So, like, God knows where they are in the building. And while we're trying to figure that out, trying to get a little bit of a rest, but before we can actually get anything like a short rest, Lady Fennel Marek comes to our rescue, and she's mad, and she starts to really have at them, yelling at them and telling them to let us out and all that kind of stuff. And so she gets us off, and our weapons are returned, and we go to the Rampant Roach, where we're going to hang out for a little while, we think. But we're then attacked by a hitman. And he's, can't remember his deal. He was very shadowy and a scary guy, lots of knives. But it was just the one of them against all of us. So, we took him down pretty quick. After that, we went to go to see Fennel Merrick at the Blue House, and we showed her the two notes that we picked up, and there's all this intrigue in these notes about things going down, naughty bits, and also betrayal and things like that, and then we were invited to go into the library and just hang out at the Blue House for a while, which is a nice thing. And people went their various ways. Some people went to the library. I can't remember what Rhym and Magnus did, but I think they were up to some shenanigans. And I think Magnus is trying to make a date. Yeah, for one of the taverns, and Echo and Remember ran out to the gear emporium, and Remember just went crazy buying gears and things. Came back and began constructing something, God knows what, and he showed up a little early at the tavern, about an hour early at the tavern, with his completed construction, and began casting some kind of spell in a corner on a corner table, waiting for his friends to show up. And that's all I remember.
That is, for the most part, it. You pretty much
We-
nailed all the bullet points. Anybody want to add anything?
Yeah, Lady Merrick definitely has something planned for us, but is infuriatingly vague about what that something is, but wants us to stick close and maybe not stay at that tavern where someone tried to gank us. So she is setting up an extra apartment for us.
Right. Yeah. So maybe we're at a different tavern tonight? This morning, I mean? I don't know.
Wh-
Going into a library to scour for information.
Right, right. What were you looking for specifically? I forget.
I guess mostly about this Marina death goddess thing.
Yeah, yeah. You were looking into that. You know that uh, you were able to kind of figure out that the Vampire Kingdom as well as the Derrickle Kingdom both worship her, obviously very devoutly. Um, and that's the main thing that you do it. That she's sort of the it wasn't was it yeah, it was Marina, goddess of death. So yeah, she you were able to find out that uh, if you spent a lot of time, which I'll say you probably did,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
definitely able to find out that that in her writings there is a prophecy that one day the dead will overrun all of Midgard.
Ooh.
Ah. Um, since this is a seemingly vast library, right?
Correct.
In that case, I'm also going to be looking for any books concerning my god, which is the brother of Loki,
Okay.
Bileiste.
All right.
See if there's anything about him.
Um, You know, you're putting me on the spot here with that one. I will
Of
say,
course I am. I'm
yes,
sorry, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say there's, it's a little bit
Uh,
more obscure. It kind of
yeah,
tucked away
yeah.
in a back corner. The gods are all very prominent, but it's almost like they tend to be focused on the gods that cause the most problems. Whereas,
Loki, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but you are able
Well,
to find some teachings on the god as well.
okay, yeah, because I mean, okay, full disclosure, even in Norse mythology, there isn't a hell of a lot written about Bileistre.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, you've given me some homework for sure. I'm gonna have to figure out something and tie it in for next time. But yeah, absolutely, you're definitely able to find some stuff on him. Uh, if you could, though, it doesn't have to be now, but before next session, preferably at least a day or two, so I have time to study. Please link the actual name in the Discord. That way, I can figure out something. I might be able to build a cool little story around that as well.
yeah, sure. I mean, okay, so once again, there's very little known
Right.
about Bileistre. But yeah, sure, I will.
Absolutely. So, anything else from any of you guys? Obviously, Echo is out getting you guys' name changed from the rat catchers to the rat feeders now because he's feeding the rats instead of catching them this time. Um,
That just makes it easier to catch him.
Rhym is pushing a
You
shopping
know?
cart full of junk down the street while humming to himself. Rhym Magnus is waiting futilely all night long. In fact, into the morning. In fact, so long that you don't see him for his date to show up at the Rampant Roach. That you're like, poor Magnus. He's probably sitting there pining his heart out. And while you guys are at this tavern, somewhere near in the area of the Blue House. I'm looking to see if there's any taverns near the Blue House, but that's a lot to look at right now. So, a tavern near the Blue House.
Cool.
So you guys are meeting. What does it look like as they approach you? Remember?
So remember sitting at a table, he's got this he's constructed this geared clockwork that you can't quite tell what it is. It's all it looks like it's wearing some kind of cloak, and it's got his head ducked down in the cloak, and maybe it's got some clawed feet, maybe, but it's all kind of wrapping itself up in this cloak, and he is just finishing up as everyone's sitting down. He's just finishing putting the final touches on a piece of spell work and spell casting, and as you sit down, the cloak isn't a cloak; it's wings, and it just slowly opens and arches back, and they fold back into his shoulders, and you see this big-nosed clockwork imp with little demonic or devilish red eyes, and he looks at Remember and he says, "Master," and he looks at all of you and he says, "Eyes, so many pretty eyes. Can I eat the eyes, Master?" And Remember says, "No, no, you may not. These are my friends. You are not to harm them, and we will know there will be no eyeball eating." And the imp looks at everyone very carefully, and you can see he's very disappointed in that kind of news. And he licking his little geared lips and teeth, and Remember looks at everyone and says, "This is the latest rat catcher. His name is Hairspring."
Awesome. Awesome. I dig it. So, yeah, you guys have all met up there. You meet Hairspring. What is everybody's reaction?
I
That's
think Echo
impressive.
would be, yeah, he'd be very fascinated and kind of lean in to appreciate the organic clockwork nature of it.
Is it reminiscent of gnomish tinkering, clockwork engineering, essentially?
It's it's a pact of a chain. It's a gift from the Great Machine, which is the patron for Remember, and he has given Remember enough knowledge of how to build and repair this clockwork imp. But he doesn't really have anything other than that. It's not like he could just start building stuff. He doesn't have those skills, but he has been given this one gift, this ability to keep around this this clockwork familiar.
All right. Well, I think Rhym will look at it and say, "I've seen similar things in my home, actually, underground. Interesting. A wee automaton, I suppose."
Yes, and unfortunately possessed by a devil.
Well, that's well, an interesting choice of power source, I suppose. Do you mind if I inspect?
Please do.
Possessed by a devil.
So,
Be very careful in dealings with devils.
He's a bit mischievous, as you heard. He would like to eat everyone's eyeballs.
Brenna's going to
Right.
flip down her goggles before she goes in to inspect, but she is proficient in Tinker's tools. Although she was never part of the Steamworkers Guild, like that built constructs, like she has like some working knowledge. I mean, it's not like a actual construct. I get that, but yeah, like Rhym was saying, is it similar in sort of blueprint to something that would be dwarven or gnomish?
It's definitely clockwork. And clockwork is a big thing in
Yeah,
Zorbeck.
Mechanis and all that, yeah.
And so I don't know.
I guess which school of clockwork
Right.
did your patron implant a blueprint of?
Yes,
is
yes.
what Brenna's after.
The patron, the Great Machine patron is, was it just what it sounds like, a clockwork patron? But I don't know the origins.
The Mechanis realm, I think, right?
It's,
So maybe it's not distinctly anything. Maybe it's got things going on that like Brenna's literally never seen before. Like,
I'd say it probably looks even more like at a distance, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell it was an automaton. You know, it'd probably look more like a normal imp until you get close and see that it's very gear forged and brass, right, Rich?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Especially when it was flying. And it has all the powers of a regular familiar, so it can actually change its form into what looks like living things. The imp can. And it
tries to do anything with my eyes, I have my smith's tools, and I'm not afraid to use them.
I understand. That's a good thing to say to him.
It is remarkable. I've never seen anything like this. Now be careful, or the Steamworkers Guild is going to try to recruit you.
And
I'd be more worried about the devil.
Yeah, I would too. I've got to keep a good control of him.
the waitress comes up, and she's kind of a slight gnomish woman, and she comes up and she goes, "Hey, someone had a rough night." Yep. And she points at the clockwork, and she says, "Anyways, what y'all are doing to walk of shame, or just some air to dog, eh? Who wants something to drink, or are you just here for me world famous flapjacks?"
Do you have
Love
some of that
flapjack.
piss you call ale here on the surface?
Oh, well, I can. What do you want, piss or ale?
Well, you don't have ale, not the proper way, not the dwarven way. I suppose I'll suffice with what you call ale.
Well, it just so happens that for nice folks as don't insult me, I might have some fresh ale imported from the Iron Crag Mountains in the
Ooh.
back.
All right, I'll believe it when I see it.
She says, "Fair
Present me with
enough."
it.
And then she looks over at Bren. "What about you? I've seen you around before." And you guys are in the King's Head Tavern, which is the tavern in the Citadel district. Nothing?
Who was she speaking to?
Oh, she was
Oh,
looking at
me.
Brenna.
You
Yeah.
said,
Oh,
yeah, Brenna. Sorry. Um, do you have any of that Salzbach schnapps still?
I suppose y'all are drinking awful early. You must be expecting some good news, eh? And she looks to remember, and she kind of squints a little bit. Says, "Bit young to be drinking, ain't you? Should I get you a glass of milk, eh? Goat's milk?"
I'd like some of those flapjacks you were talking about.
Ah, flapjacks. I can get you some fresh honey syrup to dip 'em in as well, too.
Oh, that'd be terrific. I
Right?
love to pretend to eat. Reminds me of when I was alive.
She says, she looks confused and says, "Whatever." And then oddly enough, she seems to mostly ignore Echo. She kind of says, "Yeah, just whatever," and just kind of starts to go away, as if she either knows he doesn't eat, or she doesn't. She has kind of a disdain for Gear Forged.
Remember picks up on this, and so he says to Hairspring to make himself scarce, and he winks out of existence.
I love making stupid noises like that. All right, so yeah, he kind of pops away. All right, so as you guys are sitting there waiting on your Iron Crag ale, um, whatever the hell it was that Brenna ordered, and
Stop.
syrupy pancakes,
Naps.
schnapps. Yeah, schnapps I can remember, but whatever that was before, I'm like,
Salzbach,
I got
your
you
home city.
right.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, there. While you're waiting on that, the door actually swings open, and a very tall, gangly Gear Forge made of brass and wood, wearing red and gold robes, like kind of a clergy kind of a clergy type robes. He trips on him a little bit, and he comes in, and he kind of speaks in a very teeny mechanical voice. He's like, "Oh shit!" And you do see he has a bronze spider hanging around his neck. Now, you guys all know, just haven't been around here. Maybe not Rhym wouldn't know this, but it is one of the holy symbols of the Gear Goddess. He comes up to you and he says, "Oh, oh, oh, are you the rat catchers?"
Indeed, we are.
State your business.
I've been sent to here on a matter of the utmost importance. I
What's your
need.
name?
My name is Pius.
Pious.
Pius. Yes, that's
Right.
what they said.
Hmm.
And he kind of looks
Right.
over at Echo for a minute, and then he tink 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 taps his head, and then like almost like, hey, I'm one of those too, And he says, I need you to come accompany me to the Temple of Rava to meet with the High Priestess on a matter of the utmost importance.
Oh, that's my god, Rava. Yeah, I'm all there.
Well, then it
Well,
is
if it's
most
so
fortuitous.
it's most people's gods. And yeah, Brenna will let her sleeve fall up, and you can see there is a tattoo of a mechanical spider with the body of it as a gear.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
afraid I might need a little bit more information. Who sent you exactly?
Well, the High Priestess sent us, but in reality, it was the Clockwork Oracle.
Ooh.
The Clockwork Oracle this morning spat out a piece of paper with each of your names on it. This is most unprecedented.
Rhym just snorts at all this, like, oh, bollocks.
Rhym, give me
Oh,
give me just a basic intelligence check.
Why not religion? I've got that.
No, you don't. You won't need it for that.
Oh.
You can do
Oh,
wisdom
no, no,
if you
okay.
prefer.
Wisdom, sure.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I do it? Just
Just
there we
click
go.
the
Wisdom.
wisdom. Yep. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
look at that.
You're kind of remembering in your head that, and it could be just you using common sense to piece this together, and it might not actually be anything but coincidental. You do remember that Lady Merrick had said that she might use an unconventional means to contact you all.
That's true.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Maybe
Well, I
this is
suppose.
related to Marek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
would
gonna.
be definitely the strangest way she's made contact. Yeah, well, all right. If the Clockwork Oracle has spat out our names, then I suppose we should come running. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Follow me. And then does anybody leave any money for the gnomish woman for the food and drink she's bringing you as you're leaving? Hey, wait, where are you going?
Did we even receive the drinks
Nah,
and all?
this all happened like while she was going to fetch
Yeah.
everything.
Brenna will put coins on the table, go over, grab her schnapps, and
Yeah, I'll grab the ale and drink
Yeah.
it. Is it actually dwarven?
Yes.
Oh fuck! Well
Yes.
then I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I'll drink it. I'll gulp it down and actually pay for it. What does it cost?
Uh, like, don't even worry about it because it's like minuscule. It'll be like 5 silver tops.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it that, and I'll actually make this proper. There we go, and 5. There we go. Oh, this is actually decent. I might return. Thank you.
Yep, very welcome. And then she looks at Remember and kind of longingly and says, "You forgot your pancakes, little boy."
If they're ready, I'll take them on the road.
Well, indeed they are. I don't have a to-go bag, so I'll expect you bring me dish back.
That'll work. I'll do that. I'll promise.
All right, and then she looks over at Echo and "Nyeh," and then kind of goes away. She seems kind of annoyed by the fact that there are now 2 gear forged in her little at least her night at work at the King's Head.
I mean, all the way to this church or whatever it is, Rhym is going to be scoffing at this god.
All right. So the one thing that you guys do know, that especially those here, this might be news to Rhym, is that the Clockwork Oracle is a mysterious mechanical device with a face made of gears and wheels. It is located in the inner sanctum of the Temple of Rava. From time to time, it issues like very cryptic pronouncements to petitioners in the name of the gear goddess.
Pure rubbish, all of it.
Generally, a whole bunch of people around the city start to flock there when the oracle is doing stuff. So Pius does escort you through the city to the temple district, directly to the Gear Goddess's temple. It's a metallic building. It's got brass-bound iron doors. The roof is made of green copper. There are two hulking iron automatons. They have axe blades welded to their metal arms and steam emitting
Oof.
from chimneys connected to their boiler-like torsos that guard the
Nice.
entrance. Now he leads you up the steps, past the golems, and into the open hall of the patroness. Um, there's examples of the city's ingenious craftsmanship and paintings of Zobek, its founding history. They all adorn the walls. The hall is actually busy right now with like a lot of people beat you here. Obviously, they heard about it beforehand. It's very busy with anxious supplicants hoping to consult the Clockwork Oracle on matters of personal importance. So he actually ushers you through the throng to the front, ignoring all the protests of the wealthy merchants and a lot of arrogant nobles, um, and leads you up to a woman who's kind of sitting at a shrine. Like she's kind of standing at, actually, it's more like a pulpit. She's standing at the foot of this rotating mechanical pulpit, and it's in the Shrine of Fate and Foresight. That's where the Clockwork Oracle is housed. Now she looks wise and composed. She's dressed in gold, red, and blue robes with a splendid golden geared headdress. She holds a slender iron staff topped with Rava's red and gold gear holy symbol. She looks at you. Yes, yes. Good job, Pius. Thank you all for coming. I will explain why you've been summoned, but first we must get away from the noise for a moment. And then Pius steps up and then in kind of a voice that echoes horrifically loudly throughout the place, and he's got this high-pitched, teeny voice. So imagine that like magnifying through a megaphone right next to your ear. Everyone's gonna have to wait, and just he says it over and over again, and everybody kind of like all the people are cursing and carrying on. All right, so as she leads you away, she says, "I suppose you all wish to know why you are here, correct?"
Yeah, that was less than subtle. Usually there's it's usually more subtle than this.
The Clockwork Oracle's prophecies are never quite so subtle. But today is one of those high holy days when the Gear Goddess herself inhabits the Clockwork Oracle and makes pronouncements. Today, those pronouncements too were a select few. Word soon gets around that the Oracle is ready to speak, and as you can see, we are inundated with supplicants. As priests of Rava, our role is to determine who is worthy of an audience. However, shortly after midnight last night, the Clockwork Oracle awoke and whirred into activity and produced this. And she says she holds out a long, narrow strip of paper and rolls it out, and all it says is each one of your names clearly and neatly printed on it. She says, "This scroll appeared in the oracle's mouth. We found it coiled up, resting on its wooden tongue. We asked around and learned that the names belonged to the valiant adventurers known as the Rat Catchers, who recently put an end to the evil plots of the Blood Sisters and their ghoul allies beneath the city. Now Pius has brought you here to speak with the Clockwork Oracle, as it seems it has something it needs to tell you. Come, follow me, if you would hear what it has to say."
Yeah.
I suppose even a broken clock is right twice a day.
She looks at you confused, as if you just said the most profoundly confusing statement ever to her. To like these priests, they're like, "Clocks don't break." She says, "What do you mean? Not in the. That's blasphemy." But anyway, so she leads you down a short flight of steps beneath the pulpit to an inner sanctum that holds the Clockwork Oracle. Pius actually has left, and he's bringing up the rear. The sharp tang of metal and oil fills the air of the cramped, low-ceilinged chamber. The back wall is covered in a silver dais and actuators, golden balance wheels, and bronze pistons and gears. Together, these components form a giant face. The oracle's mouth opens, and it speaks in a rasping mechanical voice. They are here. Good. The clockwork. Oh, the clockwork oracle then falls silent, apparently waiting. I started to keep reading in its voice. All right. She does whisper to you that you should ask it one or more questions you want answered. It normally only answers one question from each supplicant, so consider your words carefully. But then again, this whole business is rather odd, so perhaps the usual rules do not apply. And she stands there and gestures. Who goes first?
Yeah, is it possible if we could maybe get like a little sidebar here?
Of course, of course.
Prepare. Yeah, all right. Like, kind of go tuck in the corner.
Right.
Yeah, all right. So, I wasn't expecting it to actually have been a true summons from the Clockwork Oracle. I just thought that was the lady being obtuse as usual. So, what questions do we want to ask?
Is there a chair or something to sit in?
There are metallic benches, things like that you can sit down on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and just. Pick my nails.
I feel like Magnus is missing out because I feel like he'd be the one sitting there with Rhym. He would just be with Rhym. He would just be sitting there complaining that I can't believe she didn't show up. Where was the Clockwork Oracle when I was praying to whatever gods would listen? My date would show up.
That would totally be his question, too.
Right? Yeah.
Beauty. Well, suppose ask it what's the Imperium is planning. How far along they are in their plans. If there's anyone we are unaware of that is a part of this conspiracy. I mean, feel free to throw something out, please.
I think the Echo is just kind of enchanted by the whole inner workings of everything. Just the way the gears and everything are turning in the face, and he's almost absent because he's so just sort of directed towards all of the motion and everything.
Brenna's going to take out a wrench and just give him a very light tap on the back of the head. Yeah, focus. Be in your reverie later. Questions. We may only get one each.
Rhym isn't really too impressed here, so he's just picking his nails. Maybe we could ask what time it is.
Well, you are being absolutely sarcastic, but time frame could be a good question to ask. What is the time frame under which the Imperium is operating? When are they planning to do things? Yeah, good question. That's one of them. What else?
So the the Sister Bell Sheth's enclave, they're going to form this new trade pact to ensure this non-aggression with the Crossroads City. Do we know what the Crossroads City is?
Oh, you're in the Crossroads cities.
Go
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is, I think they're trying to form a non-aggression pact with between themselves. Correct? Like that's what it's saying. But non-aggression pact between the Blood Kingdom and the Darkul Kingdom. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's
So,
with them
do we-
taking over the Crossroads City.
Yeah.
The
Do
letter
we-
said something about diverting the attention from the iron cracks.
It did. That was the point. Like that, the whole thing where they were trying to seduce the nobles of the consul. They were trying to do that to keep the attention focused on what was going on in Zobak, so that the attention would be focused here rather than anywhere else. I might need to see the notes exactly again, but
Yeah, that second note talks about bringing with him one of their latest acquisitions, an Offerschlaut, which should be prove effective in defending the new position.
I think that was referring to like the big undead troll that was down in the
Yeah.
catacombs. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
just
think that was related only to that like
Mm.
situation, not like the grand,
We've dealt with
thing.
that. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the big kahunas now seem to be like the Nikophoros the Pale and all that stuff.
So we
Yeah.
want to know who these puppet masters are for the Blood Kingdom. We want to know what we know that they have a plan of change coming to Zobek, but we don't know what the plan is. We don't
Could
know
be
who
something.
they are.
That could certainly be something, yeah.
Yeah, the Blood
Time
Kingdom
frame,
is the vampires.
plan.
The one thing that you know is that the vampires now rule the kingdom of Cracovia, to the north, and it's right literally on the border with the Iron Crag Mountains. So it could be, you could make a safe assumption that maybe something is happening between Cracovia and the Iron Crags, or close to happening, and meanwhile the Daragul Kingdom is underneath, well underneath. It's the Underdark Kingdom basically, so it's underneath that. So again, from the Morgal missive, you're able to ascertain that the two kingdoms might be trying to form some kind of alliance.
And they're working to convert people as well in order to ensure this new trading agreement. So perhaps finding out who these people are that they're trying to convert, maybe.
Well, you already found one who somebody killed. It was just the council members. But yeah, it's basically the council members. But as of now, the cult of the Forbidden Ecstasies, which was a faux cult, has been eradicated. So they're no longer operating within the city. So
Something else is probably.
right.
Maybe we should throw a big net and see what falls out. And we could ask something like, what is the imminent danger to Zobek from the Blood Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Maybe start with that and then focus in, narrow the scope.
Yeah, if we get some information from that, maybe we can play off of that new information. Because it sounds like the Blood Kingdom.
The priestess says, "You can walk away after one question and have another sidebar."
That sounds good. So while we put that question to them, to the Oracle,
So how do you word that?
we're going to ask, if everyone agrees, we'll ask who is the main agent of the Blood Kingdom who is trying to effect change in Zobek.
All right. So that's what you go up and ask.
Yeah, get a name.
You go up and you ask that question, and it says, "I do not know." Next question.
Okay.
What a mighty oracle indeed.
Whoosh. Swing.
I sit there and I pick my nails even harder. Oh, waste of time.
Okay. Should we concentrate more on the Blood Mother? Or was the Blood Mother the person that we killed?
The priestess comes up and says, "A word, if I may.
Absolutely.
The oracle only knows certain things. It is given glimpses of a future that may or may not pass. Sometimes it is just given simple frameworks for things that could happen. Perhaps making your questions a little bit more broad. Something as simple as, why are you here?"
What evil awaits Sobek?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. All right. So as Rhym pipes that up, the gears start whirring on the face, and you swear you see a little bit of a smile form for a second in the face. The ghouls are stirring in their tunnels beneath the earth, and will soon rise. They must be stopped, or Zobek will merely be the first of many to fall. You kind of get a little bit less of a mechanical tone from that one.
Interesting.
Ask how long do we have? Time frame?
I do not know.
I wasn't actually asking that to you yet. Shit. I think I just wasted my question.
The ghouls, it speaks on its own. Hunger for flesh, their hunger cannot be sated.
We need to know where these ghouls are.
We do. I cannot
So-
stand the undead as such.
Maybe Echo should ask where these ghouls are based.
Well, you guys know where the ghouls are based. They're in the kingdom below. I forget exactly the name of it right now, but it's you know they're definitely way below the city. So
Doresh? Is it called Doresh?
yeah, that's it. It is Doresh. Yep, Kingdom of Doresh.
And it's just like everywhere, all up underneath us.
Yes.
Basically. Yeah.
Maybe we can ask about what way is the best to approach this to defeat this evil or something.
Where to
How can
start?
this be stopped?
All right. So as you ask that one, it's almost like it's allowing a certain number of questions. It doesn't matter who asks it. It says, "Recover the holy robes of Sister Adelind. Use it to stop the Dark Wedding. Then defeat the leader of the Ghoul Uprising."
That's a lot. We just hit the motor load.
Right. Well, and Brenna's gonna whisper so the Oracle doesn't hear our sidebar. Yeah, sidebar. Do you think
The robe
it's
of
worth
Sister what?
asking where the robe is?
Sister Adeline.
Adeline. Okay.
Yeah, that one doesn't count.
No.
Should we ask where? Maybe the Oracle knows where it is. Maybe the Oracle knows who the leader of the uprising is. Assuming we only had one question, which one should we ask? Probably robe first.
There was a lot of info in that sentence about the
Here,
holy robe.
The last one I just gave you, right?
Oh yeah, something about recovering the robe of Sister Adeline to stop the dark wedding or something.
I just posted it in the chat.
Oh, recover the holy robes of Sister Adeline.
That's good.
Adelinda. Recover the holy robes of Sister. Use it to stop. Okay.
Okay, we
Then
need to
defeat the leader of the Ghoul. Okay.
So three things: robes, wedding, leader.
we need to know where the robes are so
Yeah.
that we can get started.
Seek the
Yeah, the
robes in the fallen kingdom of the mermaid.
Ooh.
Mermaids.
Does that ring any bells, history-wise, for any of us?
Give me a, anybody can use either history or religion.
Oh, I'm going to use religion. 20! 20!
All right. Brenna got it.
Nice.
All right. So, the fallen kingdom of the mermaid is reference to the electoral kingdom of Krakova, conquered by the vampires of Morgal 10 years ago, and now 1/3 of the greater duchy of Morgal, Doresh, and Krakovar, the so-called Blood Kingdom. I will go ahead and post that as well.
Right.
Yes, please.
We're going north.
Okay, there's a reference to the electoral kingdom.
Well, this has been very helpful.
Conquered by the vampires.
And I'll say that we'll say that was Brenna's check, and this one I'm going to read off is for Rhym's check. You have heard of Sister Adeline. She was a shield maiden of Sif who fought against the undead of Morgal at Yarosburg in Krakova, slaying the notorious vampire lord Otmar the Sallow before dying heroically in battle 10 years ago. She has since become a symbol of hope and defiance to those who stand against vampires and has been declared a martyr by Queen in exile Ursula of Krakova. Ursula, and this is well-known knowledge, Ursula of Krakova does not like the way the current Nicephorus the Pale is running things, which is kind of to try and take over humanity and whatnot. So Ursula was the queen, and she ran out, and she's sent in exile, working with she has some followers, both human as well as vampire, or humanoid as well as vampire, I should say. Paste that.
Yeah, that was a bit to take in. Well, obviously, I'm going to regale that in a Rhym-like fashion. So.
All right. All right. And then Sister Lena looks at you and she says, "Do you have any more questions?"
Where did
Who's
she
getting
die
married?
in battle?
What's that?
Where did she die in battle?
In Krakova.
That's a big place, right?
Yeah.
Do
It
we
is.
can we narrow that down?
Yeah.
No, exactly where.
Or what?
Lena, if you're trying to narrow that down, Lena will have some info around that.
Yeah, I think we could
Okay.
find that through historical records.
Right.
I don't think we
Okay.
need to waste a question on that. Yeah, but I would like to know who is getting married.
Do not know. And then its gears, wheels, and dials spin round rapidly, whirring, clanking, and rattling for about 30 seconds. Then it gives out a high-pitched double whistle. Oh, I'm terrible at whistling. And then goes dormant.
All right.
I really want to try whistling again, but I just don't think I've got the guts for it.
Okay. So I say we go and do some research.
We do know that Adeline defeated this vampire lord, and perhaps she's buried somewhere, or maybe her remains have been taken to a church or something, in which case perhaps that's where the robe might be found.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this.
As you're making your way out, Sister Lena is, she actually is talking to you, and she says, Cracovia is a very dangerous place for travelers such as yourself. However, the dwarves of the Black Canton of Grisal in the Iron Crags have been battling the undead of Morgal and Doresh for centuries. They possess a wealth of knowledge on ghouls and vampires. I recommend you travel to Grosal and ask the dwarves about the robes that the Oracle told you of.
Are these dwarfs that I'm familiar with?
Oh yeah, everybody knows the dwarves of the Iron Crags. They are literally, they're almost like the Black Watch of this area. They just
Yeah, but I'm not from there, though, right? No?
no. But they kind of keep the undead. They're constantly at war with the undead, and the undead have never really been able to overrun them, even though almost anywhere else they go, which keeps Zobek safe as well as most places in the area.
Oh, it's always up to us dwarfs to save the world.
GM, confirm the spelling on that. Gersal, Grisal?
Grisal, correct. Here you go.
All right. So, Gersal, that's about 300 miles from here.
Does Remember know of any shadow roads that might take us out that way?
I would say probably not.
Okay, that's
Not
cool.
to the Iron Crags.
Yeah, that makes sense. But worth asking. There's probably some ley lines going into those dwarven mountains. We just don't know the roads. I don't know the roads.
I'm assuming that you are all going to take on this quest given by the Oracle.
Yeah, is the Oracle gonna like open up its coffers and give us a bunch of weapons to do it?
I mean, if you call it an oracle.
Well, whether you believe it or not, there are consequences if the Oracle gives a quest and you refuse to carry it out. Exile is a certainty. Being accosted by zealous gear forged for sacrilege and blasphemy is a likelihood. But,
Being cast out from this city is not a great punishment, trust me.
well, in order to sweeten the pot and to ensure that Rava's will is not being ignored, I will offer you a bag of 2,000 gold pieces as an incentive in advance to undertake the quest.
What was the name of this god? Is it Rava?
Rava.
What does the
Yep.
dwarf think of that?
All right. Okay.
2,000 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Still
2,000
huffing?
gold.
Still
Looks
running?
like you have a new convert. Also, think of all the undead you're possibly going to get to kill.
That's the thing I care about. I don't give a fudge about the gold. Not all dwarves are obsessed with the gold. But the undead, however, I certainly do not like undead. Nor this goddess Marina.
You will get along well with the dwarves of the Iron Crags then, my friend.
Of course, they're dwarves. Reliable kind.
What all would any of us know about vampires and other various undead? Like, as far as what things should we be spending this 2,000 gold on?
Tell you what, give me, I'm going to say religion or nature checks, everyone.
Shouldn't I really know a lot about undead?
Actually, yeah,
seeing as
you
I'm a
probably,
cleric?
know quite a bit.
I'm a
but-
cleric.
But, the standard weaknesses, sunlight, anything
Spikes,
radiant.
holy water.
Right. Radiant.
Radiant,
You probably also know silver is damaging. They can be dangerous foes. I'd like to hear you tell the story about dangerous foes of like in Rhym's voice, what dangerous foes vampires can be and some of their abilities and whatnot. I think that would be fun.
Yes, story time. Let's go.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. No,
We should definitely
I can't think of
We should definitely go pick up some silvered weapons. Remember has a silvered weapon already. Is a silvered short sword.
Silver holy water stakes. Sunlight. Yeah.
I think I still have forge space up in the gear district. I can bang out some silver bullets. If anyone uses arrows, I don't know, crossbows, I could probably do tips as well.
They cannot enter a home unless they're welcomed, and they cannot pass through running water as well.
Magnus happens to kind of catch up to you guys at this point. He goes, "Oh, great! So we just build ourselves a house when we reach Cracovia, huh?"
Yeah, preferably one on a little tiny island in the middle of a river.
Easy.
I'll bless the water too, for good measure.
Yeah, all right. Well, I suppose, yeah.
I'm not worried
start
about
making-
the undead. I have other means to defeat the undead as well, and that includes vampires. I do not fear them.
Oh, well, good. I'll be standing behind you then. You make good cover. All right. Well, I suppose, whatever plans we're going to make, provisions, we probably should buy horses, maybe a cart, depending on how much we're taking with us. It's not a short journey.
Yeah, it's about. It's going to be about to. It's going to. The road's the mountain road for a reason. There's a lot of places you pass through that almost seem like mountains until you get to the mountains. But it's going to be about around 18 days, 400 miles. And in lieu
Vote
of
cart.
in lieu of a full-on shopping spree right now during game session time, we'll assume that you guys get most of the stuff you need, and you can kind of make your lists throughout the week before next session.
Yeah, we'll just post a list of this is all the crap we
Yeah,
buyed.
and
We
then
buyed.
out
My
take
English is so good.
right, and Magnus kind of as you guys are making preparations and you explain to him what's going on, he says, Some of my troop already went up that way north. I'll try and catch up to them. Maybe get them to scout ahead for us and send me messages and whatnot. And then I'll meet you guys 3 days out on the road itself. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Right?
Yeah, have a good run. And she'll pat him on the back, send him off.
All right. Plot armor.
Perfect. Yeah, we'd have to get like a full-on war horse to carry a cart with that man in it, so it's probably for the best.
Don't like riding, so I'd definitely give my vote to a cart or wagon.
Yeah, with the amount of provisions we'll need to take. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, at the very least, we have a cart, we have food, we have feed for the horses, water.
Yeah. Probably
No
everybody.
starvation checks, please.
You can silver single weapon or 10 pieces of ammunition for 100 gold pieces. So if you guys can decide if you want to get silvered weapons or not, for you, if you want to spend your take on silvered weapons or whatnot. But
Question about that. Seeing as one of us has tinker's tools and alchemist supplies and gunsmith's tools, that's
Okay.
me, and Rhym has smith's tools, would we be able to just buy the raw silver and do that ourselves? Because I imagine part of that 100 is like paying a skilled individual to
Blacksmith,
actually
yeah.
do
I'll
it. Could
tell
we
you what,
like cut that cost?
Yeah, I'd say cut it in half. Cut the
Cool.
cost in half if you guys are doing it kind of on the road. As it
I'll
were,
do
during
that on my.
rests.
Well, or do it like before we leave town.
Well,
and then leave
generally
town.
smithing something takes a few days and whatnot. So, I mean, if you guys are planning on taking a few days before you leave, but you didn't really get a sense for time, but you do know that something big is being planned. So,
But Rhym could pound it out mornings and evenings when we're not on the road. 'Cause
Well,
it is 300 miles.
Silver has a really low melting temperature, so like one of those little crucibles would be enough. And we've got people with fire magic, so yeah, we could actually reasonably do that on the road.
We could. I mean, it would be crude, but we could. Yeah, absolutely. So I could silver my Warhammer, for example, perhaps. It'd be an
Oh,
easy
yeah.
thing to essentially silver the edges of the Warhammer. It should be simple.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would basically be electroplating.
Mhm.
So tank with the chemicals in it, you put the thing in, you put your powdered silver in, and Brenna can use shocking grasp for the electrical current, and that's what actually plates something.
I think
Excellent.
the
Boom.
creativity to make
Yes,
it
we
work.
got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're leaving on schedule and taking that discount. Thank you. I'm also going to say that we buy a bunch of healing potions as well, and we'll work out how many. But we have, that.
Right.
Healing potions, that's actually good. But they're actually expensive.
Yeah, 50 gold pieces a shot.
Yeah.
We do have 2,000 gold pieces.
Do we have 2,000 now? We don't,
Yeah.
right?
She gave you the sack. She gave you a huge
Oh.
sack in advance.
Up front, yeah. So we
Yeah.
have that money now.
For
I'm also
expenses.
topping up my spell components. Please and thank you. I'll do that out
what's
of my
that?
own gold.
So it's 200 each or something, right? Or what? No, wait,
Five of you.
2,000. What?
There's
There are
5
four-
of you.
Five
Five
of us, so
total.
400,
5 of us. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
400 apiece.
400 apiece. So, yeah. So we split it up now, right? Well, in that case, that's actually pretty good. 460, which means 4. So that was for the silver, and I'm going to
In
modify...
commoner tongue, you guys are extremely rich.
Yes.
You are
So
now
since
high class.
Silvered.
Since we've split this up, I'm going to take the 2,000 out of the party treasure.
Okay.
And, I got some housekeeping things, but we'll do that after. I don't want to slow things down.
Yeah, we can figure out all what we bought after, and just the rest of the session, if something comes up, like I pull this out of my bag, we'll just remember that, and
Right.
it's part of this stuff, yeah. Rather than
Holy water
spending an hour
vials and
shopping.
Yeah, I'm going to write up holy water vials and stakes.
Okay. Yeah, you can write that now. And again, you can always shop more a little bit later. So totally
Healing
up to
potions
you.
are good.
Mhm.
Definitely spending money on that.
And then I guess mounts, wagon. How are we? Like, I guess how many horses are we getting?
200.
If you guys are taking a cart, if you guys get a wagon that all of you can sit in, minus Magnus, probably just 2 would do.
I guess
Yeah.
are the mountain roads like passable for a cart for the most part? I mean, it is a trade road.
It is a trade road, so yeah, you can get through. It's just sometimes it's a little treacherous.
So maybe we go with mules instead.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So
And
we
we set off. I suppose, does Lady Fennel Merrick ever get back to us?
Nope. You just have to hope this was what she planned. You assume it might because it definitely has something to do with the info that you guys had brought her and
Right.
whatnot.
And I mean,
so-
word is going to get back to her. She knows everything
Right.
that happens in the city.
Mhm.
She knew what questions we were going to ask before we asked them. Safe to assume.
In a
I'll
lot of
distribute
cases,
stakes. So 1 stake each. That's S
I
T
prefer
A
mine
K E.
medium rare.
Magnus
Okay.
is like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, not that kind of steak. But yeah. But I mean, yeah. So we can write that into the inventory.
All right.
Wooden steak
got it.
and 1 holy water vial each too.
Oh yeah, and you're a cleric. You can just continually like churn those out, assuming you have spell
Yeah, I
slots at the
can.
end of
Yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I can eventually, at least. Not sure I can already.
Level
but
1 ceremony. That
Oh, is
spell
that-
lets you make a vial of holy water.
Yeah. Ah, all right.
It's like the only really useful thing that spell does. Everything else is incredibly situational.
Yeah, I can actually. Why not?
Now,
I can respec that. I rarely use Bane, but it's a good spell. Actually, I never. Oh wait, I know. Those are. Never mind. Yeah, okay. I'll respec for ceremony for sure.
All right. So after you guys do all your prep work and everything like that, and go say your goodbyes to Brick and Skirtle and Quarrel, um, uh, you can't find Lady Merrick. She's either out on some mission or just kind of doing her own thing. When you go by her offices, she's never there. But again, you guys kind of prep very fast and skirt out very fast. Now you know that the route is going to pass through the freehold of Obertel as it goes into the Iron Crags. The Iron Crag Mountains are the vast majority of your journey. Like a day out, you're going to hit them. And then, 17 days of kind of passing through very ruined, like a lot of dwarven ruins, abandoned mines that dot the hills, side valleys. And you do know the countryside is going to grow more wild and dangerous. Things like goblins, bandits, things like that are threats to travelers. But what you do know, just in your travels around the area and whatnot, there are supposed to be a lot of small dwarf holds, shepherd huts, and other places along the route that you'll be able to rest at if it gets very cold as you get a little bit as you elevate a little bit going up. Um, Now, only maybe a day out, your first day out, first night passes without incident. You're moving into the Iron Crags on the next day. Um, and you come to a very narrow passageway leading into the road follows. It's very windy, and there are all kinds of walled cliffs and whatnot on off to the side. You actually see a lone shape in the distance, very large, sort of sitting there, and he's waving at you all as you approach. And I will show you what he looks like. Oops.
Does it look like Magnus?
It does not look like Magnus. Magnus is
Okay.
supposed to meet you on day 3. Um, it looks like a large green-skinned orc. He's wearing heavy armor, and he's leaning on a very large axe, great axe, and he's gesturing you forward. I'm going to go ahead and change your map as soon as I figure out where I'm changing you to. Here we go. And this is what the guy looks like.
Be wary of that person. You can rarely trust orcs.
He says, "Ah, weary travelers, eh? Looking to pass into the crags, yeah?"
Remember,
We are.
Well, there only seems to be one way to go. Yous can come closer if you want.
remember summons Hairspring and says, tells him to fly out around these crags and these areas that we can't see, and do it while you're invisible, and report back. I send him off.
Okay?
Nice. Can Brenna just get a vibe check on this dude?
Give me an insight.
Yeah, this is clearly a setup.
He seems like he's very smug. Like, well, come on, what are you waiting for?
Brenna will throw mage armor up on herself. Subtly, she'll stand behind the others so he doesn't see her casting.
So you're setting us up for an ambush, are you?
Why would you
I'll just-
say that?
You're kind of giving off that vibe.
Well, won't say it's an ambush yet.
Oh, just a toll then, right?
Exactly. A smart one. I don't care what me brethren say about yous dwarves. Y'all are a smart bunch. In fact, maybe I even got this idea from some of your kin, eh?
Oh, we wouldn't do it so crudely, now would we?
What? Charging for a simple fee to go through a pass, eh?
Rhym is going to
Rhym,
cast Fiendish Vigor.
All right.
Rhym is, of course, stalling while we're waiting for information from the
Does the does the
invisible.
does the imp have to come back and tell you? He can't
No, no.
You can
telepathically.
see through its senses.
Later, I can have a telepathic link. I think, or maybe I have a telepathic link up to.
You
100
can do it
feet.
now up to, yeah. So if you're
100
just
feet.
getting a aerial, you can just go into his vision and see exactly what he's seeing in real time
Yeah.
and still
okay.
talk to us.
Yeah, it's
Or-
the find familiar thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So within 100 feet, I can
Give me a
communicate with him.
measurement. Let me get a measurement. I'm pretty sure that you've got the range. Oh yeah. All right. So he at first it looks like you're seeing what appears to be kind of a large boulder wedged down in here, and also one over this side behind the tollsman, holding still. But every once in a while you'll see it fidget. You get that there are two very large non-undead ogres sort of hiding in this thing. So's, you gonna pay the toll, or you gonna
How much
turn
is this
around and
toll?
go the other way?
How much is
200
this
gold
toll?
pieces each.
200. That's a lot. I'm still stalling, of course.
200? Where'd you get 200 from? I said 220 each.
How about 120 each? Yeah.
120? I can't believe you're trying to get me to come down to 180. I mean, where'd you ever come up with a number like 200?
That's not how you barter. Is I sort of glance at Rem to see if he's got an update, but is he still like glassy-eyed?
That's up to Rem. Like they're playing, they don't know Rem. Remember that. They remember that. I see what I did there. Remember that they can't. They don't necessarily know what you know.
Yeah, because
But you can speak to us. You can like talk when you're.
Yeah.
You just can't see or hear with your own senses. But you
I'll
can
fill.
speak.
Right. That's right. Yeah. I'll fill people in on what's going on about the location of this undead ogres. These two undead ogres.
No, they're not undead
And-
ogres.
And once
regular
I,
ogres then.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
non-undead. Because you guys already fought one undead ogre. These guys are definitely alive.
Once I point them out to everyone, or even from this distance, can we detect the movement? Can we see what's going on? Where
From
they
where
are?
you're at now, because they're kind of obscured. They've kind of, again, where you're standing, one's kind of wedged himself in here, and you guys,
Okay.
this isn't a dynamically lit map. This is just a battle mat I picked up. And then over here, kind of around the corner behind him.
Yeah. Okay.
But there doesn't appear to be any enemies in front of him or any in the area between us and him, right?
Not that you can see. I mean, remember, can see that there's a guy in this little hole over here.
Oh, there's one there. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So we can see the orc.
Right.
Yeah, the guy
So
talking to us.
Yeah,
we see him.
obviously wanted to be seen.
we could make him the focal point of our opening volley.
I could also light up either one of these ogres from above.
He kind of
That's
you see him. He stops leaning on his axe, and he hefts it up onto his shoulders, and he starts moving towards you casually. He says, "What are you talking about over there? You talking about who's coughing up the 220 each?
Actually,
We're
we were
just
thinking
chatting
maybe
about
you
how
should.
cold it is.
We were pondering perhaps letting you pay us, in fact, to get out of here alive.
Well, I thought you might say that. And he steps forward one more time and he
I'm
says,
casting.
"Get
Go
'em,
ahead.
boys," and we're gonna roll initiative.
Ah. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and move these guys up to the token layer now.
98. Isn't?
Oh shit! I gotta zoom out. Curses! All right, let me go ahead and start the combat music. If it works. Oh, this happened the other day, and it won't descend. I have to refresh. That's all right though, because the turn order stays active. It's still not working. Wait, is it already in order? Is that what happening? That's what's okay. So that's very weird, and I wasn't paying attention. Everybody's dice rolls came out in order when just based on who rolled it in what order. So I'm like sitting here hitting descend, and it's like it's not working. It's broken, and sure enough, it's just randomly in order. That's the first time in years on Roll20 that's ever actually happened to me.
That's pretty freaky.
Yeah. All right. So as my music does not play and frustrates me very greatly. There we go. Remember, what are you doing?
Is there a grid for this map?
Hold on. Let me see if I can put the grid
Yeah,
up.
if you can make it visible, that'll be easier to see things.
There we go. Did that work? The grid come up for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right, remember, you're up.
Okay. I'll stop communicating with through the eyes of Hairspring, and I will cast Ectoplasm, and I'll place it right about here.
Ping it again. Okay.
And I will have it pass through this guy so that it'll end its turn here, and he'll have to make a wisdom saving throw.
How big is that? 5 feet? Ectoplasm.
5 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Is it as soon as you cast, or is it at the end of his turn?
I think
Should be able to link it.
the very first. Yeah, I can do that. I think the very first attack, when it moves through him the first time,
Okay.
that he.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
Oh, he fails. So for that,
2d6.
All right. All right. Very good. All right. So go ahead and give me the damage. So it's 9. Okay. Nasty. He's like, oh, boys. And that turn or anything else?
That's it.
All right, Mr. Echo.
Okay, starting off, banging my staff into the ground, and it lights up as I activate my shillelagh. I then look at the guy that just got ectoplasmed, and I hit him with Toll the Dead.
Okay.
one, which I don't have over here, so I'll just. Why don't I have Toll the Dead?
I thought I set it up for you, but I might not have. It'll just be
Nah.
2d or it's 1d12 if he fails.
Gotcha.
Oh my God! I'm off to a great start tonight. Oh my God! Max damage. Oh man, he's like, oh! He's kind of moving around.
Nice. All right, and that's it.
All right, Brenna.
All right, she will step out to get a clear line of sight. Is going to shoot a firebolt at that gentleman.
Oh no! Give
Nope.
me that d20.
Here.
19. 19 is. I think somebody. Wait a minute. Oh, 19. That's all the way at the bottom. Target of your attack gets a free reaction to be taken immediately after the failed roll. Free movement. So it's going to take a free movement. I get a free movement. Yay.
Oh,
That is going to be. All right. Oops. Yes. 5. That's about it for him. He can't quite get to you, but like he just
Okay.
kind of he sees it coming and he kind of goes low and stumbles forward a little bit, almost like his own version of a failure, but he uses his momentum and he's kind of able to pull himself towards you.
I wasn't expecting you to move that fast. Okay, she's going to step back. Bonus action, she's going to touch the owl and cast Dragon's Breath on it.
Okay.
And the owl is going to take its movement to fly up here above this guy and puke fire on it.
Nasty. She crush up a hot pepper and feed it to him.
Yeah.
Dex
Ooh.
save. It's dexterity, okay. Cursing spellcasters. Okay, so
Oh.
he makes it. So
So
6
6.
points.
Okay. And then it'll use its flyby ability to take the rest of its movement to kind of tuck up into the rock and out of striking range. And that is my turn, thank you.
All right, so it is going to step here in between you guys and say, oh, he swings once at Rhym. It's an 18.
Damn. 18 actually hits.
All right,
Bloody hell.
11 slashing damage, and then he turns his second great axe attack towards Echo on the other side swing. 10, not going to do it.
Nope.
And that ends his turn. Rhym.
Well, behind him, I will summon a spiritual weapon.
Oh, nasty.
And that's a bonus action, and that's an attack, so obviously I'll make the attack. Can I actually do that with any kind of... Do I need to just roll a d20 or something, right?
For what?
Maybe? Spell attack bonus
click
plus
it.
5.
Click it from the front of your sheet.
Oh, right, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Okay.
Oh, that's
21.
a hit.
6 force damage.
All right. This thing is not looking good. The toll
And
master.
I will also whack him with my warhammer.
All right. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
You hit him, too. Okay. So much for this guy's
Smack,
split
smack.
mail. Or whatever he's wearing. What's he wearing? Orcish plate mail. Good gracious. So, yeah, plate
You
mail.
messed
and
with
he
the
gets-
wrong people.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm done there. Except
right.
for the shouting in his face.
5, 10. All right. What happens when they move into the ectoplasm and through it? They have to make a
You've
wisdom
got to
save.
make a wisdom, yeah.
He doesn't have much choice. He can only go that way. What's DC 14? So it's half damage. Go ahead and give me the damage.
Yeah. Where?
I think it's if he ends his turn within 5 feet, but he seems to be doing that anyway. So
No, I
When he
was just
passes
stopping.
through.
He's going past. So if he ends his turn, but passing through it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it does. When he
Okay.
goes through the first time. Pretty sure.
I'll look in a
So he
second.
takes 3 points of damage.
Okay. Oh, poppycock. What is that snot? Hold on. Hold on. Move through a feature space. So, I mean, if you move it through a creature space, technically it does say it has to end its turn there. But if you move it through a creature space, it still does damage. So essentially, it's almost the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and allow the damage. 40 feet.
I mean, it makes sense when he's passing through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing is going to come up here, and that's as far as it can get. And because it's a dumb creature, it's going to swing at the spiritual weapon that it cannot hit. So,
Brilliant.
that's one attack it's wasted. This one says, oh, stupid boy, and he throws a javelin at the hooter. 12, is that going to hit the owl?
I don't know. It's 30 feet away up on the rock wall, presumably with a bit of cover.
So we'll give it a +2. Say it's swirling
What is the
around.
AC of an owl? The owl's AC is 11.
So
Plus
13.
2 would make it 13.
All right, so that's a whiff. He's like, oh, I hate voids. And then he's going to move down here behind its companion. And obviously the Urag and the ogres did not think out how easily it would be for them to be bottlenecked in this situation. Remember
is going to fire up his Eldritch Blast against the orc.
Okay.
Oh,
Oof.
All right, let's get the... Oh, come on. You got to roll again, too.
what do I have to do?
You have to roll again.
that's
It's a crit.
Weird that it didn't. It
didn't
usually
add-
doesn't.
Yeah, it should
Automatically.
register that it's yeah. Weird.
All right, there we go. 12. All right, how does it look, Rich, as you finish off the thing? It's because Rich is in there playing with his sheet all the time, probably.
Yeah, I think it should have some. It should have my agonizing blast attached to
Oh
it.
yeah, it's,
so-
then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
plus your charisma modifier as well, so it's
Yeah.
even more than 12.
Hold on, I have to
Yeah.
look at your sheet and see what's going on with that. But you definitely kill it no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. So it gets underneath his plate mail and bangs around, and you can hear it horribly as his all his blood comes squirting out in some of his organs. And
Why
then
it's not.
I don't know. I've added the charisma to it before, and it seems to just kind of disappear. I've been adding it right in here.
Yeah, it's
And it-
added. It's definitely there. I don't know why it didn't work. Huh.
Roll 20.
Yeah, it's a roll 20. It's actually got to be a roll 20 bug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes when they do updates, it breaks things for a little while.
Yeah.
So that's plus 4 on both of those.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I
Yeah.
say, he only had 10 HP left, so.
Yeah. Okay, so as a bonus, my bonus action, I will move the ectoplasm to here. And I think that since he's already moved through me, I don't think I should be able to just keep wiping him, again and again. I don't know how. I've never used ectoplasm before. It's a nasty spell.
So you
Yeah,
can
the
move
bonus
it.
action thing. Yeah, the bonus action. You can slam
Yeah,
someone
bonus
with it.
action. Yeah, you can keep doing that every turn.
So
It's
you
kind of
can
like
move
Flaming
through.
Sphere, but
Yeah.
the gross.
It's almost exactly like Flaming Sphere, which is a really good spell.
So I'll pass right through this guy, and
Yeah, and
Yes,
if they
make a
end their
wisdom
turn
save.
there, they're actually going to take even more damage, so that's good.
Ah, he makes it. So all right.
so he takes half.
Oops. All right.
And done is not working.
Echo.
Looks like I'm gonna go ahead. This guy up front here, he's full health, and the guy behind him is not.
Correct.
Okay, then I'm going to toll the dead on this fella on the backside, standing next to the ecto.
He does not take any damage.
Damn it all. Ah, shoot, and that is all. You know, that's all I've got for right now. Calling it done.
Brenna.
Right. She's gonna run up to Rhym, clap him on the back, and wipe some mithril powder on his shoulder. Yeah, you've got this. She'll cast Armored Heart as her bonus action. You now have resistance to standard damage. My little temporary barbarian friend. Action before she moves, I guess. She's just gonna shoot that one.
All right.
Why not? Let's use the actual gun.
Very good. You cause an avalanche.
Cool.
Rocks fall. You
No.
all die.
No.
All right, 6 piercing.
No. It's fine. Everything's fine.
You guys definitely, when that gunshot goes off, boom, you definitely see some rocks kind of fiddle and fall a little bit, a little snow, get a little looser.
Yeah, all right, putting that away for a while. And the owl is gonna, go down there and puke fire again.
Heartburn. Dex. Oh, man. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's definitely going to take max damage on that. He's like, "Ow, it burns. It burns. Fritz, it burns, Fritz. Get it off me, Fritz. Take it off
And then-
us."
She'll have the owl just fly like behind her, so it's got complete cover. That's my turn. Thank you.
All right. Urag goes in the trash can. Rhym, you're up. Spiritual weapon holding the pass currently.
Yeah, my idea was to place a shatter there, but seeing as how that might affect the rocks around us and all that, perhaps that's not a great idea. I mean, that's a proper explosion.
Huh?
Might
That's
not
a
really
proper
be the best.
explosion that specifically damages inorganic material such as stone.
Yep. So maybe I won't do that. But yeah, first of all, of course, the spiritual weapon there. I'll use it to attack the ogre there.
Okay.
And let's see. Boom.
Oh,
Crit.
nasty.
Oh.
Man, you guys are on fire tonight. I can't roll for nothing.
So yeah, 12 damage on that guy.
All right.
And I'll try to use Toll the Dead as well.
Okay.
On him. Let's see. Boom.
Oh, he fails. Go ahead and give me some damage.
All right, yeah, okay. I don't have that
It should be on the front of your sheet.
Yeah, it's not there, but never mind. I'll just D12 then.
Yep.
Let's see. Boom.
Toll the Dead hasn't been showing up on sheets recently for some reason. The attack. So usually I'll have to put it in manually. It's just I forget between every week. All right, this guy's not looking good. He's like, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" They're lighting me on
It's your
fire.
impending death.
The face was the best part there. All right.
Yeah, okay,
Anything
I'm
else?
done.
All right. All right. He says no to that. He throws a javelin at you with a 13, which is probably not going to hit shit.
Block it.
Ding. All right. This one, he's like,
Hold on. He's got to take 2 points of. He's got to take some damage.
oh, yeah, because he can't move. He's stuck between his friend. That's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
pretty dumb. All right. So give me damage. 9. Man. He's getting chewed up, ate up, everything like that. His buddy's behind him. He's like, Bite, what's going on? What are you doing to my friend? Get out of his head. Stop lighting him on fire. Stop snotting all over him. I actually looked that up before I even got to it. It can't be passed through. That's actually no
Whoa.
on sage advice. That's why it's kind of
Okay.
stuck right there.
Oh,
So-
all right.
Yeah, I looked
And that
at.
would
I
apply
looked
to
at-
us as well, I
no,
imagine.
players can pass through it.
Ah.
Yes. But enemies may not. Just like players can pass through each other, teammates, they just can't end in the same space. But you can't pass through monsters. Monsters can't pass through it either. So this ogre, seeing that little thing, little warhammer, spiritual warhammer whipping around, not letting anything through. There's a javelin at its caster. Oh, an 18's going to hit, right?
Yes, it is, but half damage, right?
Yes, you take half damage,
Half
so
damage.
7.
Very good, because I'm in bad shape. Let's see. Okay, so that's 7. Okay. Yeah. Wait. So that's yeah. Okay.
All right.
Ow.
All right. Remember.
So that other ogre's got to take a wisdom saving throw at the end of his turn.
Bitch.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. All right. He makes it, so he will take half of 4, 2.
Oh. We'll take it.
He's like, I got some on me, Bert. I got some on me. Don't worry, I won't go out like you did. And anything else, remember?
Yeah. I'm going to Eldritch Blast. Gosh, I'm going to obliterate this one dying guy. Should I do that? No, I think the spiritual weapon will take him out. I'll do the fresh one
All right.
in the back.
17 is going to be a hit.
That
Ooh.
has the agonizing
Proper-
blast attached
Okay.
to it.
Oh yeah.
Thump.
Sweet. Now I'm done.
All right. Echo. I don't know what's going on with the turn order thing there.
Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna try the Toll of the Dead again. Just keep
Alright.
screaming at this guy right here, right on the front line.
Die, 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 die. Just like a what everybody used to think heavy metal music was back when we were young, right, Troy? Why do you listen to all that die, 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 kill your mother?
Why kill your
music?
pig?
Yeah.
Rape your dog. Oh,
I can't remember how many times somebody would say to me, like I'd walk past in my metal shirt and they'd be like, kill your mother, kill your father, kill your family, like mocking me. It's like, yeah.
No thanks, just yours.
In my
just
head
yours.
now, Echo is just screaming a perfect rendition of Slayer's Raining Blood.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's. But it sounds like a cassette tape because he's run mostly on magnetic tapes and things.
Oh, he fails. Give me the
Beautiful.
D12. That was the one up
Beautiful.
front you were doing?
Yeah.
All right. He's still hanging on by a thread, but he hangs on.
Ah, God, is there anything else I can do? I don't. Nothing that wouldn't just waste spells.
You could use the spell magic on this floating hammer here.
No, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just done my turn.
All right.
Just keep singing Slayer in the background.
All right. Brenna?
All right. Oh, there we go. Couldn't grab my token. Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish it off.
That's going to be a hit, so you might finish it off. Not with that damage.
All right. Owl
Vomit on this one.
vomits. Oh, it'll go above both. I
Okay.
just can't move the token or it'll get trapped under there, but it has a 15-foot cone and
Okay.
yeah, so that'll hit both. Let's go. Puke.
I'll be
One
back.
fail. Both fail.
Oh, God.
9.
All right, so how does it look as the first one dies under a barrage of spell-like powers? I'm gonna have to
I mean,
create.
it's just this little clockwork orange. Jesus, clockwork owl flies up, opens its beak, and just a absolute torrent. It looks more like molten metal
Oh, cool.
coming out of a smelter than it does actual fire, and just pours all over that guy.
Awesome. All right, turn.
Wonderful.
That's action bow. Yeah, that's me.
All right, Rhym.
I'll move the spiritual weapon to attack the second one, of course.
All right. No, don't hit me, Hammond. Don't hit me.
Ooh.
It hits.
Oh, yeah, it hits. 5 force.
You brought this on yourselves.
We
Now
was just-
die.
He kind of looks at you with these puppy dog eyes. He goes, "We was just doing what we was told." Almost as
Well-
begging for mercy. This giant
Well-
creature. Oh, and you're tolling him. That's right.
I'm trolling him as well, yeah.
I forget. Ah, he makes it.
It makes it.
Yep. Thankfully. All right. And that is Rhym's turn, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do I want to be a total dick and say, well, he can squeeze past? No,
I
just
think he
don't-
could.
What do you guys think?
I think-
Yeah, because really,
I
this
like-
is the flush wall, so he could kind of squeeze past.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he
Yeah.
can make
Yeah.
his way past
From
it.
there,
Yeah.
the other guy was trapped,
Yeah.
but like he could. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
When
dead.
when Dimly could get really big, I researched that, and they said that even though he took up 4 spaces when he was big, he could squeeze through a 5-foot space.
Okay, very good. All right, so he's going to attack Rhym on the D4. He swings at you with this giant club with a 14.
Well, it glances
Just
the shield.
ding. Oh, man. I told you. All right, remember.
Eldritch Blast.
15's going to
Sweet.
do it. Oh, my God, look at that damage. All right, so yeah, this thing it's like on fire. It's bald anyway, but it's like like the little wisps of hair that were growing out of its chin are now melted away. It's been puked on by fire. It's been obliterated. It's bleeding out of its ears from all the dead tolls.
It's still alive?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, I'll bring my ectoplasm as my bonus action to here.
and slam it.
Yeah, you can essentially ram him with it. So, yeah, that's a roll, right?
It's a dexterity, right?
It's
my.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom. Okay, well I'll take that instead. Aha! Half damage.
Haha.
All right, so that
Cool.
thing is still hanging on. Is it going to get all the way around to it to where it can crit somebody into death? I think it is. I'm willing it to happen. You hear the funeral dirge music playing right now?
Yeah.
All right.
That-
Echo, you're up.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and place 1 foot on his dead comrade right here in front of him, hold my quarterstaff high over my head, and give him a stern whacking.
Oh, it's not going to happen. All right, so how does it look?
He's sitting there and he's sobbing and he's kind of just already pretty much mentally defeated. He's focused on Rhym. Whenever I walk up on him, he kind of just turns and realizes the second he sees my hand up in the air that I'm not screaming anymore and I'm just here to put him out of his misery. I place my club sternly between his eyebrows and it splits him all the way down to his nose, where he then falls back over into the ectoplasm.
Oh, thump. And the
Nice.
ectoplasm splurts everywhere like Slimer and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that actually ends the combat. And you guys have successfully completed your first of 18 sessions trying to get to now. No, first of first day or two in into the wilds of Midgard. So on that note, guys, we're gonna end the session.
I don't. Do these guys have any goods? I mean, they've been running a toll booth. They should have some money in their pockets, right?
Perhaps,
Could
yeah.
be you are the first one of the toll. However, hang on, guys. This is somebody from my work. Let me answer that, and then I'll do the roll.
The suspense.
I mean, I know he's going to edit this out, but it would be more funny if he left it in.
Well, he'll see it for the first time in the edit because he's not listening to us right now. We could say anything we want about him, and he won't know until he publishes it. Time for some vicious mockery.
No, man, I got nothing bad to say. He's just like a really nice guy. I don't know. You know?
True.
So, how close was Rhym to going down? Had he not had the
I have 8 hit
damage?
points left.
Ooh.
But I mean, the last hit there would have pretty much downed me, and almost. But yeah, so close call. That was a close call.
So you are able to find 21 total gold, kind of scattered among the corpses. You do find a suit of plate mail that might fit Magnus, if Magnus were so inclined to wear plate mail. It's about his size. Rhym,
It could be modified. I've got
you could
Smith
also
tool.
modify it. Yeah, you could also modify it to fit yourself.
Oh,
Yep.
well, that actually might be appealing to me.
You know, you might not. You probably have to sacrifice silvering the weapons though on the
But
trip.
no,
if
wait,
you're going on a trip.
hang on though. I seem to recall collecting plate mail parts.
Yes, you did.
Actually,
Actually.
I have already got plate mail parts.
All right.
So
Yeah,
I'm
we have
more
two sets.
exactly, yeah. So I'm already probably working on making a plate mail for myself.
Right.
In fact,
Yeah, and Bryn. Now I've done it. Now I've said my name wrong. Brenna has the technical expertise to like deal with the silvering because it doesn't require any actual smithing. It's
Okay,
just like
cool.
electroplating silver onto the blade. So Brenna will take care of that, and you do the
Yeah. So pretty
armoring.
much every day, by the time you guys get to your destination, you should have one suit of plate mail done. So you just got to decide.
it's simple. I will prioritize myself.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a servant of Bill Aister. That's much more important than you bastards.
Right. Yeah, that guy that called me was like, "Hey man, I just got your message. What are you talking about?" I was like, "I didn't leave you any message." So he was like, "Well, that's why I don't know what you're talking about. I just realized. I looked and realized it's from like 6 months ago." I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "That's how much I check my voicemail." I'm like, good to know that I'm important to you. You know your work. So, but
Yeah. Well, anyway, to be fair, I think Rhym has already started working on this armor since before we got these
yeah,
new parts.
you've probably
anyway,
been on it
so,
for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days by now. Anyway.
yeah. So I'm not going to stop working on that just to work on something else. And I realised that, but there's no time to make two. So unfortunately for Magnus, the second set is going to take less of a priority for now.
Well, we'll throw it in the wagon.
So
Yeah. Of course.
So as far as XP tonight, I'm not using the lazy GM thing right now because that's been acting kind of wonky lately. I think they might have Roll20 might have updated something that they haven't caught up with the scripts yet. So for total XP today, it's going to be 2,000. So that would be for you guys. Well, we'll say 400 each because I have to give Magnus some too. I'm keeping everybody up to speed.
Yeah.
400 XP more each.
So
just
21,
manually add
20.
that.
Yeah, just
Yes.
manually add it. Yeah, to what your current total is.
Yeah, we're at 2,120 then.
Well, you have a little more than everybody else because you got some extra.
Oh, right. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I
So
forget what
I think
for, but
everybody else has 2070.
Oh, 2,700 is level 4. We're approaching.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's going to be the
slowly but
feat.
surely.
But
Yeah, that's an important one.
I'm going to go ahead and end the thingy here. Good session. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little